Hello everybody, my name is Coyoteon and welcome to GIC Agents. I'm here yet again with Hunter and we are going to be doing yet another episode of the GIC Agents podcast. So today's main topic is going to be about VR, just the nature of virtual reality in general and our opinions on it. But also we're going to have several other topics. We're going to branch out and we're going to talk about other things.
And by other topics, we're just kind of going to hope we think of something and we're just going to kind of talk casually. It's going to be a lot more casual this time.
Yeah, so just,
Mostly because we need a lot of time to fill.
Yeah, so just sit back, prop your feet up, maybe crack a cold one, maybe, I don't know, maybe even take your pants off.
That here. You can't condone cracking a cold one.
Okay, alright. Never crack a cold one, never once in your life. Someone offers you a cold one, you stab them.
That's some quality advice.
It is. So, VR, it's a big thing in the industry these days. A lot of people are, saying it's going to be the future of gaming. It's pretty much the new motion controls, or at least that's, the way I'm interpreting it. So, pretty much, we're just going to be talking about our opinions with VR. And Hunter, do you want to kick it off first, or do you want me to go?
You go ahead and start it.
Okay, so, pretty much my opinion about VR is, I don't see what all the hoopla is about. I mean, I've never really done VR before, I've never really experienced it or anything, but it just doesn't sound that cool, and I just don't think it seems that cool in general. I mean, I could be wrong, it could be like one of the coolest things ever, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that cool, and if I get it, I'll probably wait for a few years after it comes out.
The thing is, it's not if VR is good or not. It's like you gotta wait till, because it's like they're starting a whole new thing, so they gotta make games for it, and the games aren't gonna be, compared to normal games now, they're not gonna be as good. So you gotta wait until they kind of figure everything out before the games are really gonna be good on it.
That's true. Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, I didn't get Windows 10 when it first came out, right? I waited for a little bit for them to, like work out the bugs and work out all the kinks with it. So maybe if it's out for a little while and people say it's really awesome and say it's good and there's some good games that I'm actually interested in that are released, then I may try to pick up, like Project Morpheus or something. But I don't see myself picking up the HTC Vive or anything like that anytime soon.
You gotta have like a really good PC for like that
yeah,
stuff.
I know.
Alright, also, because like when they released the price for the Oculus, which was probably like pretty brave since you have a bunch of competition.
Yeah.
And you're the first to release the price. It's pretty bold.
Yeah.
But the Oculus were kind of the first to like put that out there. So.
Yeah, they were kind of the people who put like VR on the map.
I thought they were the only ones for a while. No, there are actually a lot more. And I have one of them that I'll talk about later. Like $10. It's cardboard.
It is the future of gaming.
Yeah, it's also made cardboard.
Cardboard is the future of gaming.
And it's made for
every
phones.
Every game you're going to get from now on, I'm telling you, every game from now on is going to be made of cardboard.
Yeah, I think that would be the best kind of game.
It really would be. But yeah, so I really just, I don't see what the big deal about it is. I don't know. I guess it's just not for me. I mean, I don't know. So I don't, I don't necessarily really have a whole lot to say about it outside of the fact that I just don't see what the big deal is, and when it does come out, I'll probably just eventually, wait for it. It's kind of one of those things, I mean, I can see how it helps with immersion, and I guess that's kind of cool. Like, if you're playing a game and you're really want to get immersed into it, like if I'm playing Skyrim or something, then, like I have my headset on or whatever, and, I'm playing first person and, I'm slaying goblins. I mean, I could kind of see that for, like, the sake of immersion.
Skyrim doesn't even have goblins, doesn't it? Does it? I don't even know.
It has goblin-like creatures. I know for a fact that Oblivion does, but I don't know about Skyrim. Welcome to the Elder Scrolls podcast. We talk about nothing but Elder Scrolls, which we know everything about.
Don't forget the cardboard.
Don't forget cardboard. Cardboard is the most important part. So pretty much that's really all I have to say, about VR. It's just I don't see what the big deal about it is. So I'm gonna let you talk about it. I'm gonna pass the torch on over to you. What do you have to say?
So like, first of all, I'm gonna say like the pricing on the Oculus is like $600, and that sounds like a lot because it is.
Sounds like a lot because it is. That's more expensive than some PCs.
Yeah, and you gotta have a really expensive PC like running.
Exactly. So you're looking at $1,000 plus.
Yeah, But they did say like this is like made for like the 1% pretty much. They're not looking to make money. They're looking to do cool things. Is basically what they said.
That 1% of gamers that just throw their money around.
Yeah. The 1% with a PC that can run it. Really?
And it's YouTubers mostly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unlike us.
YouTubers and that one kid at our school.
Tim.
You know him.
Yeah, Tim. Gosh.
Yeah, Tim.
What a jerk.
Tim.
You know, him going around, he's got the girls on his hips, he's got the glasses on.
Yeah, just like me, right?
Smoking a crack pipe, I swear.
Exactly like me.
Just like you.
Got top hat, and he's got PC in his pocket, and he's got his hat on sideways, the Kentucky Derby. Hope no one gets that joke, because no one's gonna listen to it anyway.
He's gonna put a PC in his pocket.
He's got big pockets.
He can afford them. Okay, he's at 1% of pocket. Okay, continue.
Timothy Johnson that we accurately described.
I hope so. Okay, continue.
Alright, here's what I think about VR. I think it's actually pretty cool. Because I got the crappy little... when I got the limited edition new Megadeth album, it's really good. I've listened to it like 4 times now.
Off the VR land! Oh wait, that's Metallica, never mind.
I don't even know it. A few days ago, and I got the limited edition with the little VR thing, and it was like, I got it on sale for like $13.50 or something. I don't know. And normally it was like $17. So like, that's like
what a deal! You got like $4 off.
It's a good deal. I mean, it's money.
That 1% being able to pay $13 for VR. I can't even pay $13 for a milk.
It's so basically it's probably what, like $7 for the VR thing. It's made of cardboard. You put your phone in it, and it's not very good. I mean, it's $7.
I imagine it's just a harness you put on your head, and you just put your phone in it, and you're just staring at your phone.
Exactly what it is.
That sounds great.
And it's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty immersive. Despite the fact that it's cardboard and you're just staring at a phone, it's pretty immersive. I mean,
this is like $7, and it's pretty cool.
And it's $7 for what you call it. I'll be glad.
Like the $600 things.
Phew. Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Probably. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be a good thing. I've heard good things that the Vive is cool. Then they release the price, and they're like, that's not the real price. And the Morpheus is the only one I'd even be able to get. And they said it'll probably be like console price. So I'll wait like a few years.
Yeah.
There'll be some good things on it. If there's ever Journey on it, it's an instant buy. But God, that'd be so cool.
That would be. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Journey, like, it already, like, the camera can control the controller. Which I think is somehow cooler. I don't know. I like it more a little. I'm a fan of VR. I'll get it maybe one day, like in a Christmas 2 years later.
I feel like you know, to be honest with you, just I don't care all that much about VR. Like, even if they came up to me right now and they're all like, here, take this, you know, 8cc Vive for free. Take, you know, this Project Morpheus for free. I'd just be like,
and here, I think you're over exaggerating a little.
I'd just be like, I don't want it. Like,
really?
I mean, even if, well, I mean, I'd take it. In all honesty, if that were to happen, I'd take it. But I wouldn't exactly be kicking down any doors to try to get it. So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think all that much about it. It's just me, I guess. It's sort of the same thing with motion controls. Like, when they were first announced, I'm like, what's the deal? I like to sit down when I play games, and now you're telling me that I'm going to have to stand up and move around? Why?
I never really did stand up with it. Like, I remember getting, like, a Naruto game when I was, like, 10 on Wii, and I was playing this thing down in the bed, and, like, my dad's like, don't you need to clear a room in here? I'm like, no, just like, what?
Don't you need to get out of my room? Oh! And then he threw the Wiimote at him.
I did, but I had the strap on like a responsible gun owner. It didn't work.
Like a responsible gun owner.
Yeah, that's what they do, right? So you can't throw it, they just drop it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, when you're swinging your gun around like a Wiimote, you don't want to drop it.
Exactly.
That's how I play Wii, with a gun.
We're done talking with VR in like 5.5 minutes, probably. We talk more about cardboard than VR.
Yeah.
So basically,
So,
we need to think of things now, and we're just gonna kind of chill.
you know what I'm going to talk about?
What?
So, I got a new game today. My first
Oh,
game of 2016. I'm just going to talk about it a little bit. Lego Avengers. So, this is the newest Lego game and the newest Lego Marvel
it's the
game.
Louisest of them all.
It's Louis Vuitton, the game.
It's
Everyone's
a good name.
favorite dream. Okay, but yeah, pretty good. Pretty good, actually. It captures the films really well. It puts them in that Lego style. And originally I was kind of nervous because, see, for this one they used sound bits from the films instead of doing actual, like, actual voice acting. And I was a bit nervous about that because I didn't know how it'd sound. But they fit in pretty well. And there's actually this one, so, like, Hawkeye, like, has this sound bit whenever he's fighting enemies, and he says it in the movie, and it's during this pretty dark scene because he's, like, under the spell of mind control. He's underneath Loki's mind control, and he's just like, "Have you ever been unmade?" And it's so weird because it's just like these cute little Legos, and they're fighting, yeah, and he's like, "Have you ever been unmade?" And it's just Jesus Christ, like,
I'm just reading over our improv story right now. Our
oh,
two improv stories. No, now that I mention them, we pretty much have to read them.
the improv stories you guys didn't get to hear because the recording messed up. I mean, we don't make
Twice for
mistakes
both of
ever.
them.
We never make mistakes ever once.
Because we're cool. Also, we don't make any videos, so it's kind of hard to make mistakes if you're not doing things. Alright, so basically, I'll read
Yeah, you
over
can go
both
ahead.
improv stories that I wrote on my phone. Here's the first one. Basically, what it was we would both take turns saying words, and we'd start the sentence, like, take turns of that, too. So here's what it ended up like. I'm the coolest guy ever, but I'm a giraffe, therefore it's not possible to eat much dongo. Sometimes I get scared because of the Jews. When I get lonely, I die a little time. Every day it seems like I am dying. Sometimes I wonder why I'm alive. Being a giraffe is difficult when you don't giraffe. Because I am a giraffe, I am a giraffe. Today's Thursday. This is good? Possibly. The animal kingdom eats my feelings. The snowstorm has infinite possibilities. Trash can is scary. My mother died. Pope Francis is kind of lame, but he's good sometimes. The end. Here's number 2.
Wait, did you guys catch that? Did you guys let that sink in for you? Because this is important.
Did you get that last part? Trash can is scary. My mother died. Pope Francis is kind of lame, but he's good sometimes. That was the ending.
It's gonna win the Academy Award. I just know it. We're gonna make it a film, and then we're gonna get all the awards.
Alright, here's the second one.
Leonardo DiCaprio better watch out.
I'll say it a little slower this time, so it'll look like we put more work into the podcast.
Because we totally did.
Dingoes are cool. The Hulk killed my entire family. Sometimes I question my sanity. Tuesday's my favorite birthday. The monster inside my anus is called Bill Clinton. Sometimes Hillary gets angry, so I bleed. God, that's a good line. Danny DeVito was the worst Gandhi of them all. Jesus Christ, sometimes weird on Tuesdays. The lamp is evil when it's drunk. Bernard Sanders is a birdie flamer. Jiggle wiggle when I'm sniggle. Autism is cool sometimes. I am angry. Dish Network. Desktop flaming dingo dongo fire death. Jimothy Cricket dead on Mars. Waka Flocka green bean machine. Chair bear care and Hitler soul. Rogue Legacy is fun when you're drunk and when you're sober. Cancer patients are sad because they have cancer. Lord Flame Soul is evil because he has cancer. Scrobbling on Broadway with Ford Vader, but I died. The end.
I would just like to point out that we apologize to people with autism or cancer.
Yeah, it's
and
not cool sometimes.
it really isn't. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. But hey, you gotta
That
admit,
was just the word that came to my mind, and we were doing it like super fast. We were like, dingoes are cool. The Hulk killed my entire family. Sometimes I question my sanity.
and hey, you gotta admit that was a pretty good story, regardless.
Oh, yeah. Just quality is the monsters.
The monsters in me. So, what do you want to talk about? What games have you been playing recently? Let's talk about
Well,
that.
I
'Cause
haven't played any games in like a whole week, but I did buy 4 albums.
same here.
You bought 4? Oh, I thought you meant you bought 4 albums.
No, I haven't played
There's gonna
games
be
in
5
like a
tomorrow.
week.
I could talk about those albums if you want, but it's not really a music podcast.
Yeah, we'll save that for the GIC jamming podcast, which is
Yeah,
not a thing.
Jamming podcast was just me talking about like Dream
It's
Theater.
just you all on your own, all on
It's-
your lonesome. Except you don't have the recording software, so
Yeah,
it's just you.
that new Dream Theater album is 2 hours long.
Just like your mom. Oh,
It's 2 hours long ago.
that was
2
okay.
hours long ago, like a Flongo, Dongo.
We need to
Dongo.
talk about something. We're talking about dongos. Oh gosh.
What else?
What has this podcast become?
It's become Dongo Central.
Wasn't it always?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Let's think. How long has this been going?
we're just now heading 44 minutes.
44
Yes, we're
on the
just
podcast.
like it's counting down, so we just hit 44 counting down.
Oh, so
Not counting up.
for like 15 minutes almost.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So, should I whip out the other topic? Maybe we could talk about that.
sure.
Okay, so originally we were gonna have combine these two topics into one podcast. Then we decided, no, we don't want to do that because we want to try to do this weekly. So we wanted to save it for the next episode. But clearly we have nothing to talk about. So we're gonna talk about the next topic. So pretty much, let me set the scene for you, Hunter, because I don't know if you're all that informed about it. So pretty much, Eurogamer, pretty popular website. A lot of people get on it. Pretty big deal. They recently made an article that was more or less discussing how console gaming is more difficult than PC gaming. Well, not necessarily more difficult, but like pretty much here. Let me set the thing for you. So okay, picture back in the 90s, right? You had your Super Nintendo, you had your Sega Genesis, whatever. You just pop the game in, you hit the power button, and you were ready to play, right? But now, pretty much what Eurogamer was complaining about is now, pretty much PC and consoles, more or less, kind of have require the same amount of work to set up. And that the PC is just so much more rewarding because they have mods and better graphics and everything.
I disagree. They're just as easy to set up because PC is like graphics card. They're like $1,000 PCs that you got to build. But
yeah,
otherwise, everything else is pretty much better when you can get a good PC.
Yeah, but because because now whenever you get a new game, you have to pop it into your machine. It has to install, which takes up quite a bit of your limited hard drive space, and then normally you have to download an update, which takes quite a while, and it also takes up some of your hard drive space, and it's all just a big to do, and pretty much
But then again, games back then, if you're trying to install them now, would be like 3 megabytes probably.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like that weird Mega Man box art I sent you that one time, even on the bottom left corner it said 1 megabyte drive, which is, there are themes on the PlayStation Store that are bigger than that. There are themes that are bigger than that one game.
My Bloodborne theme that I bought was bigger than that. Looking at new Dark Souls 3 screens, they're cool. I was trying to find the thing, and I just flooded, I threw myself at Dark Souls.
So, pretty much, but that's pretty much the whole to-do about it. So, pretty much, also, I just want to point out, I kind of stole this topic from the Funhouse Dude Soup podcast, so you should go check that out, because it's really good, and it's really awesome.
All the things I talked about VR, except my experience with the Megadeth one, was, which the problem with it was the app, and I don't like it because my phone screen gets dirty, and I wish it was slightly different. But otherwise, it's kind of cool. It's good for like a $7 thing, but everything else I said about it, like the Elite Experience, stolen from Super Best Friend Cast.
So, Yeah, we don't have original
Oh,
ideas.
thank God, FNAF World got removed from sale.
Phew, thank God. I don't know what that was, but if it's
Five Nights at Freddy's World.
Oh, I know what Five Nights at Freddy's is, but I don't know what Five Nights at Freddy's World is.
Well,
Is
let's
it the
talk about
next?
Five Nights at Freddy's World. Let's talk
All
about it
right,
right
buckle
now.
in. It's time for me to learn about FNAF because that's totally what I want to talk about because it's
All
such
right.
a good game.
FNAF World.
It isn't.
I put FNAD World, but who cares? FNAF World. Alright, let me find like the thing.
I don't know why, but I
It's got a
imagine.
9 out of 10 on Steam.
Well, that's good enough for me. We don't even need to talk about it.
Alright, FNAF World. I can't find.
I like how we
something that says
start. I
what
like
it
how
is.
we start about like console gaming become obsolete, and now we're talking about FNAF World.
And Dark Souls screens. They look good. They look good. And Five Nights at Freddy's World. From my understanding, it is an or not an MM, but like an RPG about Five Nights at Freddy's.
My God, what has the world came to?
And it was so bad they removed it from Steam, and they're possibly re-putting it as a free game.
It's so bad that they removed it from existence. They used
Yeah.
the Magic the Gathering card revoke existence and just yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, that sounds awful. But anyhow, so like going back to the whole console PC thing, personally, like here's my thing about console gaming. I feel like console gaming will always be a thing.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because A, it's been around a really long time, and B, not that many people have all that much money that they can use to go buy like a state-of-the-art gaming PC and graphics cards and additional hard drives and everything they need to set the PC up. Not that many people.
A console and like 10 or 15 games is the same as a normal PC.
Yeah, exactly. And not that many people.
Like a gaming PC alone.
Yeah, but not that many people have that much like time or money to do that. So consoles are kind of like the alternative to that, where people are like, I don't have a whole lot of time and money to set all this stuff up, so I'll just put my console in. I gotta plug the game in. I maybe have to wait for an install, and then boom, there I go. So
the real question is, how long will retail games last?
That's a good question. That's a very good question because
I think that as long as there are people who don't have internet, that they might stay around. I don't know.
I mean I feel like they will because
it depends. Like I don't know how many people own consoles with no internet right now. Like consoles.
I know
one.
I feel like I might know. I feel like I might know.
I mean, Dream, but
someone.
But he only has no internet temporarily.
Well, I mean, it's not even like not even like no internet because they're because in some parts of the world, like Australia and other parts, they have really like crappy internet and they can barely even download an update, let alone an entire game. So in those countries, I'm sure retail games will still be around. Here in the U.S., I feel like they're still going to be around too, because I mean, just like I picture it from like a developer standpoint. I imagine it's normally probably about half and half. They get half of all their sales from like retail games.
I think it'd be more like
half
75-25 maybe. More like 65-40. Or not 65-35.
Well, I imagine it'd be really half and half because I mean, I don't know. I just imagine it'd be that way because
I think retail has.
I mean, as of right now, I don't know as of right now, I don't know anyone who's gone all digital.
No, I don't personally know anyone who's gone all digital.
I mean, I don't know if I trust like that
my
system.
Too bad.
Like my internet could probably withstand it, but I just don't know if I trust that system. Because, what if it gets corrupted or something and then you lose your game? Or what if a purchase doesn't go through right and you just spent $60 and to buy a game and then you didn't end up getting the game, which happened to me before. Thanks, Xbox. I really appreciate it. I don't.
Woo!
I don't want to go all digital. I don't want to. So yeah, I feel like console. I feel
My
like
internet's just
I feel
bad
like
as fuck.
console gaming will always be a thing.
Also, it takes up more space.
Yeah, I feel like console gaming will always be a thing because there are always going to be those people who just don't have enough money to get a high dollar,
Yeah, I
high end
agree.
gaming PC. So I feel like that's always going to be a thing. Um, but who knows? Because like PCs prices may, like they may come out with something even better than a PC, a SMEC or something.
I
And
think
then
as it goes on, consoles have been getting closer and closer to PCs.
that's true.
But PCs have also been getting better.
Yeah,
Do you
so
think they'll ever be equal?
that's a good question. I feel like it's the nature of kind of like the
I think
PC.
PC will always be
That
like pure hardware better.
yeah, I feel like well, it's kind of the nature of
Slightly.
PC to like grow and adapt because like when
But
you look
it
at
does it slower.
because like when you look at like PCs that ran on like Windows 95 to compared to like the PCs now that run on like Windows 10, like it's completely different. So I feel like it's kind of the nature of PCs
But
to
it takes a lot
evolve.
longer for it. Just think, because consoles change like completely, like every what, like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, normally about 5 or 6 years.
PCs take longer, but they're still ahead right now. So I bet they'll be ahead. Also, just pure hardware. I mean, they've also got like all the mods and
Yeah,
everything. Really, the
they
games are made on PCs.
yeah they do they have a lot of benefits. So I mean I do feel like there's
Oops.
that consumer divide though that'll keep consoles
Yeah,
around.
but casual.
Yeah.
Who
Oh
play
yeah,
COD
that's
on your
another that's
360?
another really good point. There are some people who like just like like all these older like people that you see actually that just bought a Wii just so they could play Wii Sports with their
Just to get Zumba fitness with
yeah,
their
or Zumba
own.
Fitness. So like I mean you don't so those people are definitely not gonna get like a high end
Yeah, I bet.
$500 gaming PC.
I'd
So
ask people in my house what they think about PC gaming. They'd be like, "What, like Facebook games?"
yeah, like if I asked, they're like yeah, if I
Because
asked
they don't
around,
know.
it'd probably kind of
They
be
don't know what Steam is.
so it's yeah. I mean, there's always going to be that casual market, and they'll kind of keep the consoles thriving.
Yeah.
I mean I get I guess you kind of have to look at it like this though, because there is this one good thing. I mean, like the age we're in for like PC gaming right now is kind of a bit of a golden age, because like back in the 90s, like if you wanted to boot up King's Quest, you had to enter like King'sQuest.exe, and you had to enter all these programs and do all this stuff, and you were in like DOS, and it was super complicated. But
Middies
now,
galore.
yeah, but now it's just and even back then, like sometimes the quality standards weren't that good. Like you could
Yeah.
potentially buy a game that didn't even work. But then again,
Well, then again,
you can do the
can
same thing
now.
now.
That makes me think. Just it made me think of the PS4 game Godzilla, which I mean, it functions, but I mean, it's awful. It's like one of the worst games of last year, but definitely. Um,
It was
how do you?
sorry.
I have a feeling that that game would go up by at least 1 point out of 10. It would go up from like 2 to 3 just by the inclusion of the song Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult playing like all the time. Because can you imagine like all this game is awful, but
It's like every MX versus ATV game. The
yeah.
game itself is bad, but the music's good.
Yeah. And then you can shoot yourself out of that cannon or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Unleashed some of them weren't even bad.
Yeah,
Honestly,
MX versus ATV Unleashed wasn't that bad actually. I liked it.
I have it somewhere.
I have it on my shelf because I like putting. I think it's actually next to Mega Man, which is weird because it's like Mega Man, whoa, MX versus ATV Unleashed.
Do they go in alphabetical order?
Yeah, they go in alphabetical order.
Yeah, I've got the Witcher soundtrack next to like Tenacious D or something.
Actually, wait, never mind because I have Metal Gear Solid 2 in between those. I think.
Yeah, my thing goes like Tool, it was like Van Halen, Witcher. It also goes like Lamb of God, Lords of the Fallen soundtrack, Megadeth.
Ah,
It's something. Lords
yeah.
of Fallen sucks.
I like I like
Well, it's not
alphabetizing my
bad. It's
game
just
shelf because it
kind of.
makes it feel so much more
I put my games in the
organized.
shoebox.
Also, I like just looking at my shelf and being like, ah, look at all these games I have that I barely ever play.
I don't because I'm like it's in a shoebox in the corner. My
Like,
room
for
on
instance,
top
I
of
could
three
look at
other
my shelf right
shoeboxes.
now and see a game I never play. Terminator 2, the arcade game for Sega
You have
Genesis.
it. Cool.
That's one I never play. See, it's that kind of feeling that warms my heart. But
Yeah, I
anyhow,
have so many games I don't play.
I do too.
I don't know if I have any games I've never played.
I have one or two.
Like at
I,
least not disc games.
I have a few actually. I have
What?
this one copy of the Star Trek game made in 2013 for the PS3 that I haven't opened, mainly because I have it for the 360, and I let a friend borrow it, but I don't think he's ever going to give it back.
But I don't think there are any games that I own that I've never played, but there are games I put like just a tiny bit into.
Yeah, I mean, I have a ton of movies I've never watched that are still wrapped in the cellophane and everything. So
When I was looking for the article on Eurogamer earlier, I saw something that bothers me more than it should, and it said the making of Witcher 2, and it showed a screenshot from Witcher 3, and it just
and you're like,
ru- it
and
yeah
you had
it
an
scrabbled my
aneurysm.
Gandhi, you know.
Yeah, you had an aneurysm and you died.
Yeah, and that's how I
Your
got here today.
your ghost is talking
My
to us.
Gandhi got scrabbled too hard, and I died.
So
I want that to be my last words. Like, seriously?
no, it's gonna say
If
that
I
on
had
your.
to
It's
choose
gonna say that
between-
on your tombstone. His Gandhi got too scrabbled. No,
Frick.
no, it's like when when you're older and your wife comes up. Tell me, how did he died? His Gandhi got scrabbled a bit too hard. Oh,
That was his only weakness.
his one true weakness.
Gandhi scrabbling.
That's your kryptonite, Gandhi scrabbling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about old video games, 'cause why not? I like Final Fantasy VII, even though I barely played any of it.
I like Twisted Metal Black. I haven't played it in a few weeks, but I like it.
Yeah, Twisted Metal Black's a pretty good game. The only problem I have with Twisted Metal Black, the biggest problem I really have with it, is it gives you no tutorial. It just throws you in.
You just have to look at the options, really. I mean,
You're just all like,
also
they're just like, figure it out. Well, I don't want to have to look at the options in order to play the game. I want a tutorial.
I wish there was a tutorial. Really.
Ah,
That's
well.
it.
And it's got quite
Also,
a bit.
subtitles.
And it's got quite a. Yeah, me too.
It's got a ton of characters.
It does. It. Like, I don't know. The thing
Not an
about
easy game.
The thing about Twisted Metal, I like the concept and I like a lot of the characters, but the gameplay to me gets boring and repetitive after a while. But I like
think it's fine.
I like the concept though. I feel like it's a game that's better with friends. I feel like it's a game that's better in multiplayer, and I've only played it by myself, so that may be the reason I don't like it all that much.
I hope like one day there's like a remaster of it on PS4 with multiplayer. I'd buy it,
I would too.
especially if it looked good.
Like I remember, dude, I remember fun Twisted Metal story. So I remember it was like I feel like it was Siphon Filter or Siphon Filter 3. It was one of the two. But anyhow, like you know how on PlayStation 1 games that the booklet is the cover or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, I'd always open it up, and you know how a lot of the time they have advertisements for other games on the back of the booklet, right?
Yep.
Well, I opened it up, and one of the advertisements was for Twisted Metal 4, and it had a picture of Sweet Tooth on it, and as a child, it terrified me. I'm just like, oh god!
You know what terrified me as a child?
What's that?
A lot of things scared me as a child. Some of the things that scared me the most were from SpongeBob. Remember the episode of like Wormy or whatever?
Oh yeah, where the is it the but
it
is what
shows the extreme close up of the butterfly, and I still don't like it.
That gives me the willies when I look at it. Like, it
I
doesn't
know.
scare me, but it kind of makes me uncomfortable and it makes me
No,
move around in my seat a little
it
bit.
makes me like, oh God, get it away. It makes me, I have bugs, man. And then remember when I opened that box of games and I saw Spider?
Yeah, and you
got my
freaked
live
out and
you got my
screamed.
live reaction to throwing the box outside.
And burning your house down.
Yeah. Even though the box was outside, I had to burn the house down to be sure, you know.
Another. Actually, I have several good. Actually, I have several good.
I gotta say another SpongeBob thing that scared me. There was like King's Island, some SpongeBob movie thing, and then Patrick got like chainsaw hands or something. And
Oh, dude, I remember that. It's like the 4D ride.
For some reason.
Well, I mean,
I cried.
if I saw
I saw that as a little kid. For some reason, it terrified me, and I was a little like babby crying. Watch a SpongeBob 3D Patrick with chainsaw hands or whatever.
Well, if I saw a starfish with chainsaw hands walking around, I'd be pretty scared too.
I don't even remember what it was that scared me because I was so little.
Especially an inept starfish like Patrick. But anyhow, I have
And
another.
an inept pink starfish with chainsaw hands is pretty dangerous.
I know.
Alright, we should start titling these. I think that's what we should be. An inept pink starfish with chainsaw hands.
You heard the origin of the name here, folks. That'd be a pretty good one. But I have another story about a booklet.
VRs and chainsaw hands. GIC podcast number 2.
That's actually good. I want to write that down.
I'm gonna write it down too. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead and write it down because I have a story. So I have another booklet story that also scared me as a child, and I actually think I told you about this one, Hunter.
Alright.
So like Metal Gear Solid 2, or I think it might have been Metal Gear Solid 2. It was some PS2 game of mine. I opened it up, and the booklet had a picture of like a Silent Hill cover on the back of it. I think it might have been Silent Hill Shattered Memories or something. I can't.
With the ice one.
Yeah, it was like a girl on like a swing.
I think that's Shattered Memories.
Yeah,
it's got ice and stuff.
Yeah, and there's ice and stuff. Well, anyhow, so like, I was messing around with the game or whatever. I took the booklet out, and as a kid, I don't know why, but for some reason, I always found joy in the ads on the back of the booklet. Like, I'm all like, whoa, look at that game. So anyhow, I turn it around and I see that, and I'm just like, ah, and that always really scared me. And whenever I'd play that game, I'd open the case really quick, pull the thing out, and put the game in, and like shut the case really quickly. Except for the fact that the ad was facing the back of the case.
Yeah,
so, like,
I don't understand why you're...
when I opened it up, I didn't see it, but I knew it was there, so it kind of, like, scared me a little bit. So I'm like, I know it's there, and I'm not letting it get me. So, like, I don't know. I guess it's just kind of the thing where I knew it was there.
I think Dangerous Hunt terrified me as a little kid, too. Everything terrified me, honestly.
I thought you said Manhunt there for a minute, and I'm like, Manhunt terrifies me till this day.
Cabela's Dangerous Hunts.
Dave Cabela's Manhunt. It's going to be the third Manhunt game. They actually made Manhunt 2, which I didn't know.
I know.
I did not know that, and I'm like, whoa, Manhunt 2 is a thing?
It's got Piggy, right?
I don't know who's in it. I just know
I think it's got a pig.
I just know they made a second Manhunt game because the first one was so good. I don't know.
It wasn't bad.
I actually haven't played the first one, but it doesn't look that good in terms of story, just based on what I've seen.
Yeah, isn't the story just murder?
Yeah. It's just like that game. It's just like Postal. Just like Postal. Or Postal 2 or whatever. The story is murder. Charlie murder. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't like that game very much.
Well, I don't like you very much.
I know. None of us do.
We're quite aware. But yeah,
Ben.
Other things that were...
Dude, Memes of America liked my tweet. That's a...
The proudest moment of your life.
It is.
The proudest moment of my my proudest Twitter moment is one time the developers of the newest King's Quest game, The Odd Gentleman, liked one of my posts, and I was all like, and I got really happy. And
my greatest Twitter moment is a Miracle of Sound replying to me and saying thank you.
I don't know who that is, so I'm just gonna be all like, cool.
It's a musician.
It's a musician?
Yes.
Or is it the musician?
All of the above.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Other things, do you want to keep talking about things that were spooky as children?
There are too many for me.
There are a lot for me, too. Um, I don't know why, but like, it didn't really scare me as a kid, but I never really liked looking at it. And it's, it was like, there's this creature on like the back of the Final Fantasy VII box art that looks like a giant, like two-headed dog. It's not like a Cerberus because it has two heads. It looks like a giant two-headed dog or something. In fact, I don't know what it looks like. I'm gonna pull it out right now because I don't really. I want to be able to give a better apt description of it.
Mm.
Oh, well, yeah, no, it's two dogs crawling on a rock. Okay, it's like two dog-looking creatures crawling on a rock, and
Sounds interesting.
it didn't scare me as a kid, but like really it kind of confused me as a kid cuz like it's in black and white, so it's kind of hard to make out what it looks like. And if you look at it from like a certain angle, you can tell, oh, that's two dogs on a rock. But if you look at it on another one, it's all like, what is this, you know?
Send me a picture of it if you have one. Later.
I'll send you a picture later. Yeah. I'll keep the game out just in case. So, I don't know. It might have just been where I was a kid. Because looking at it now, it's like, yeah, that's two dogs on a rock, definitely. But as a kid, I was always like, what is that? It might have just been me. It might have just been me as a kid, me being dumb and me not being able to make out what things were with my eyes. Because I had wee babby eyes.
Originally, this podcast probably would have went on a lot longer if the third person had shown up here. But
Dream.
Instead, he probably fell asleep or something, so I sent him, like, in total, at least 100 faces of Bernie Sanders. Most of them were in this one picture, which has, like, 30 Bernie faces all in one.
Yeah. It probably would have gone on for a lot longer. I think he would have had a lot to say about the whole console versus PC debate.
Being the one who's played the most PC games here in
Yeah,
one.
and that's mainly just because he played a lot of Undertale this year.
Yeah.
Too much Undertale. We gotta cut him down. Oh yeah, last year. Sorry, excuse me. He's probably still playing it this year. He's probably playing it right now.
He probably can't.
He was so wrapped up in...
He's probably sleeping right now or thinking about Bernie faces or Gandhi or something.
Or Undertale face Gandhi. I don't know. I don't know why I'm expecting this, but kind of where, like, you know how that was made by, like, an indie developer or whatever, and it hit big success and fame. I don't know why, but I expect he might kind of sell out and start making, like, his games will progressively get worse and worse.
I doubt it. He's worked on other stuff before.
Oh, what else did he work on?
Right,
I didn't realize.
Let me look up his whole thing.
While he's looking that up,
I'm pretty sure I know, but I don't want to get it wrong, just to be sure.
While he's looking that up, I'll talk about Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. My favorite moment of Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit.
No, wait, this is just the music producer. Hold on.
Oh. My favorite moment of Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit is where he's all like, "I'm Chris Pine," and then he shoots a dude. Chris Pine's in that movie, right? I think. Yeah, that's Chris Pine.
I was thinking of the wrong guy. Nope, no, it's the same guy. Developer Toby Fox, and he also did the music. I mean, he also did music for, like, Earthbound, so...
He did music?
I'm guessing he worked on that, too.
Wait, he did music for Earthbound?
Dude, Megalovania was in Earthbound.
Dude, I did not know he did music for Earthbound. That all makes sense now. He's the one who knows where One-Eyed Willie's treasure is. He's the one. That's not a reference. That's just me talking about Goonies and not being good. I don't know. Twisted Metal. I feel like there should be a Twisted Metal White just for the sake of it.
I feel like, yeah, just to make things...
I mean, just to make things not, you know, just to make things equal, because equality is important.
Alright, I don't know, actually, hold on.
What, Twisted Metal White?
I don't know. I just gotta look up, what is the history of Megalovania?
What's the history of Castlevania? Symphony of the Night, Mayor Creatures.
Alright, let's find out.
You know, I want to get Castlevania Symphony of the Night on PS3. I need to get around to that.
Right. The song was originally known as Megalovania. It was composed for Toby Fox's ROM hack of Earthbound. that he
Oh.
created as a submission to Starman.net's Halloween Fun Fest. The song was later reused in Homestuck as Megalovania
Oh
on the
God,
Homestuck Volume 6
Homestuck. Oh,
Transparent
Hunter,
album
why'd you have to bring
music videos.
Homestuck into this?
I
It's
don't even know
awful.
what it is.
It's okay. So
Alright.
Weeboo Supreme likes it, so that'll give you an indication of what it's like. I'll just leave it
I'm
at
gonna
that.
find out about it while we talk about the next thing here.
It's a webcomic and it's bad. I started reading it and I couldn't finish it. Also, to any fans of Homestuck out there, I'm sorry, but I disagree with your taste.
Kyle dislikes a lot of things you probably like.
So there you go. Okay,
How long has
so
this been going now?
we got 14 minutes counting down.
So basically, we talked for 30 minutes longer about what we weren't supposed to than what we did.
Exactly.
No, at least 40.
It's been a while.
Perfect.
So
Stories of VR and Chainsaw Hands.
and spooky Silent Hill things. So, what else was I gonna talk about? I was gonna bring something up. Oh yeah. We were talking about, like, weeboos and Homestuck and all that jazz, and that reminded me of Naruto, which reminded me, you know how he used to, like, turn into a girl or whatever?
Yeah.
And there'd be the clouds around the jiggly parts?
Yeah.
Why?
Alright.
Why was that a thing? It was always so weird.
Alright, want to know the explanation behind the clouds that I heard on just another Super Best Friends video?
I do want to hear the
Want to
explanation.
know why there are clouds around it?
Why?
He's a little kid and he doesn't know what's there. Yeah, he doesn't know what to do.
So he's just all like, clouds.
He does it to distract his enemies, also because reasons.
Also because it's made in Japan, so
Also
why would it
because
not? I remember I one time almost got in trouble for that. Like, I was watching Naruto one time, and my mom, like, came into the room while I was watching it, and he was in, that female form, and she's like, oh my god, what are you watching? And I'm just all like, I was just flipping through the channels.
Like, it's just porn.
No, I was just flipping through the channels,
Just
Ma.
flipping through channels, they happen to come across some hentai, and
Well, I was like...
and you're like, don't worry, I watch it for the story.
Oh, also, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. That wasn't recently. That was a while back too. Like it was.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been on air in that long.
I remember. I don't know why, but I used to compare Naruto and Avatar: The Last Airbender to each other, because like I guess that was like
animes, right? Except Avatar is not.
Avatar was my only experience with quote-unquote anime at the time, so I didn't know what it was,
It's
so I'm
not
just all like...
anime, it's made in America.
They're the same thing. At the time, I said that. Now I realize they're not.
Cartoons.
Now I realize Avatar is actually good.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Naruto's probably good. I've actually been I've been thinking about going back and watching Naruto again.
That was a good one. I like that. I'm gonna put it down on Twitter right now.
What?
Keep talking. You're just anime diss.
Boo boo boo. Anyhow, but so I don't know. I've been thinking about going back and watching Naruto again. I know it's on Netflix, and I'm just like, why not? I might as well go back and watch it. It's probably just as good as I remember. Is Toonami still a thing?
Yes.
I didn't know.
It's probably on right now.
Well, I'm gonna go watch it. No, I'm just kidding.
No. In podcast.
In podcast. I'm out. Peace. I like how I'm like, I don't like anime, and then I talk about anime for like 15 minutes straight. Dream likes anime. He was gonna be on this podcast, but he isn't.
Actually, now he's sleeping, dreaming about Jews or something.
Probably. And he's dreaming about Naruto's luscious body.
In normal form.
In normal form.
I remember when that show was like huge in like kindergarten. You remember that?
I remember everything.
Could you ever forget? I remember talking to people like when the Zabuza arc was happening.
I remember
And
not.
like,
I remember.
Is it Haku fight awesome? Yeah.
I remember getting like a Naruto action figure, right?
Yeah.
And he had this awkward red button on his back, and whenever he pushed it in, he like extend his leg into a kick. but his leg moved like no human being's leg does, because it went completely horizontal to the left, just like it was so weird. Like, you know how people's legs look when they're doing the splits?
Yeah.
Well, one of his legs looked like that. The other one was just
Just goes,
perfectly straight, and then the other one was just, it was so weird. I think I still have it
Don't worry,
somewhere.
it's ninjas.
And he had that like ninja knife, like the kunai that in his hand as
Dude,
well.
wanna know what I have in like that back building behind my house right now?
What's that?
I still know where my Zabuza sword is. I have one. Also, I had a big giant like shuriken when I lost it, and I had the little kunai pouch
Yeah.
that looks like mud. I had a ton of stuff.
Were you not?
My
Did you?
mom always made fun of me by calling it Naruto.
and then you got really sad and depressed. And you laughed at it and you're like, haha, good one, Mom. And then you go into your room and you just start crying.
No, I got like upset. I'm like, oh,
It's not nerdy, Mom. It's about ninjas.
it's cool.
It's about ninjas that can turn into sexy girls.
I read it for the articles.
It's like ninjas who can turn into sexy girls like you.
Oh god.
and then
When
she
I was
gets.
little, I told my mom I said my mom should be on American Idol.
Wait, what was that?
When I was little, I thought my mom should be on American Idol.
She should be.
And you're right.
When I was little, I was super gullible, and I still am. No, I'm just kidding. When I was little, I was super gullible, and there was this one girl who came up to me, and she was all like, when I was young, or she's like, I was on American Idol one time, and I'm like, whoa!
He's like, no way. Oh my god!
Oh my god! I remember Transformers is cool. That's the thing I said.
I don't.
So, speaking of American Idol, do you remember? I remember for some reason very distinctly this like American Idol, like they did an American Idol line of McDonald's toys, and there was
Oh my god, you're right.
this one that was like a clapper, and it was like
I remember.
and it was a gun, and you pulled the trigger and it clapped, and
What?
I remember
Okay,
for
that's not what I remember. That's not what I remember at all.
oh
I remember just normal clapper.
oh.
I don't remember clap gun.
It was like, yeah, you pulled a trigger and it did the clap. I know because I still have it. And I remember one time.
Wait, was it like in the shape of a pistol, or did it just have a clap?
No, it wasn't in the shape of.
I thought it was like a Joker bang gun where hands came out.
No, no, it was just kind of, it was kind of curved and it had a.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I know that.
And I remember, like, for some reason, like, there was this school rally or something, and this one girl brought it, and instead of clapping herself, she just went and just pulled the trigger, and I just thought it was the weirdest thing.
God, that's a school shooting right there.
I don't know if it was a clap gun or if it was a real gun.
I couldn't tell. I mean, only some people were bleeding with your friends with this, so I couldn't tell.
Only some people were being Naruto, so I couldn't tell.
Only some people that I bioed. Dude, I got so mad because I watched the start of the Super Best Friends new Naruto LP thing. And one of their jokes at the start was like, I bet this will end with us getting back in because one of their running jokes is Naruto sucks. And God, I got back. I watched like 5 hours of it in one day. And the full time, I'm like, why? Why am I doing this? Watching it. I watched
Why?
2 fights in 5 hours. And one of them wasn't finished.
That's Naruto for you, ladies and gents.
And then I was bored, and I was talking to Dream, and I looked at the filler list. It's like 40%.
So, we're going on about 5 minutes left. So do you?
Alright.
I mean, we might as well, wrap it up. So, do you have anything else you want to say, or?
Moral of the story: don't have a low pat.
It's good advice. So everybody, thanks for
Also,
watching our
don't
very Naruto-centered,
Scrabble, fear the Reaper.
Scrabble-centered Naruto episode. Thanks for watching. It was originally supposed to be about VR, but then we talked about spooky things and stuff for about an hour. So,
We talked about hands.
if you guys like this video, give us a like, put a comment down, tell us what you thought about it, and
Also,
subscribe.
See a doctor if you like this video.
Yeah, you should probably see a medical professional as well. But anyhow, we will
Close
see you
my
guys
eyes and I
next
see
time,
giraffes.
and thanks for watching.